Hi, before the video starts, I just want to say I said a lot of things in here that a lot of individuals probably won't understand are jokes. And if you don't know me, which you probably don't because not a lot of people come around to these videos often, I'm very sarcastic. So take everything I say in this video with a grain of salt, and please just come into it and try to laugh if you think it's funny. I don't mean any harm when I make fun of people, if I even made fun of people in this video. I genuinely just had a lot of fun making this, and to enjoy myself, I tend to say stupid things. So please, please, please take it with a grain of salt. I really hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do, I'm not saying to do it now. If you do and you're new, like the video if you feel like it, and subscribe if you also feel like doing that. It's not mandatory, but it is extremely appreciated since it does help the video's performance at the end of the day. So I thank you, and I'll shut up. Goodbye. Have fun. Enjoy it. Okay, so it's the first time I'm ever doing a video like this because honestly, YouTube only wants me to make videos where I talk about Nebula. So Nebula this, Nebula that, Nebula my balls. If I don't say Nebula in the video, the AI won't pick it up and push the video. Therefore, I'm going to make a video talking about Nebula. So all the regular viewers, my wonderful friends in the Discord, I apologize that we're doing a Nebula video again. I've done a million of these, but for some reason, I want to test something. So if you're new and you've never seen a video of mine before, and this is your first time watching one, type in the comments, because I'm curious if YouTube only wants to push my videos when I talk about Nebula, or if I'm just stupid and those are my only good videos. At the end of the day, I want to find out. So before this video starts, that is the bulk of what I wanted to say. Also, this is a top 5 list. These are the top 5 worst guns that I genuinely had to use during the process of getting Nebula. They are, for the most part, awful. And Nebula isn't even that hard to get at the end of the day. Nebula is pretty easy. Not even pretty easy. It's easy. It's just very time consuming and annoying. But these were the worst guns that I found to get Nebula on. One of them, I don't even have it on it because I just hated using the gun, period. And it's not even number 1. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good luck me. Good luck you. If you haven't done Nebula yet, skip these 5 guns. Melee weapons are all better, and melee weapons aren't even on here. So yeah. All right, so for number 1, we have the LR762. And honestly, I wasn't sure if I was gonna put this on there, but since you can't pack-a-punch the LR762 and you have to use it non-pack-a-punched, it means that you have to exfil a little earlier than you can with most weapons in the game, which just creates for a very annoying and tedious process. And also, it's a bolt action weapon. No one wants to sit here and use a bolt action weapon in zombies, even though it explodes. It's actually very good if you're not doing the camo grind, which you all know since you've been playing this game for like 2 months, 3 months now almost. The LR762 basically becomes the salient fourth when you pack a punch it. In my opinion, it's definitely not as good. The damage output is low. Just the DPS in general is just god awful on this weapon. Getting this gun, Nebula, actually isn't good at all in my opinion, because you can't pack a punch it. You pack a punch it, you start shooting explosive bullets, which means you get less headshots per round. It's basically just worst case scenario. The gun is great overall, given the fact that those are some main issues, and obviously getting from 0 headshots to 2,000 headshots is extremely time consuming with a weapon that you can't pack a punch and stay in a game longer with. Creates almost bad environment for the weapon. It's also super annoying if you don't have Deadshot, say on controller or even on PC, because you're not getting the extra damage from it. On PC, I feel like it's a lot more annoying since you actually have to take the time to aim. On console, you kind of just spam left trigger and then just, you know, shoot him in the head, and it works out eventually. Eventually you'll get it. Obviously, all of these problems are completely irrelevant if you're just a loser and sit in directed mode. Now, if you are subscribed to the channel, you're not a loser for playing directed, but if you're not, it's a give or take. Also, obviously, if you have to use directed mode because you don't have the time to sit here and play hours on end, all right, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. That's totally fine. Directed mode is there for people that can't play the game for a long time or take the time to, say, learn about the Easter eggs or do anything like that. So it's totally fine if you have to use directed mode, but you're still a bum. As an overall weapon, to get gold on the weapon, it's very easy. Once you finish the special challenges, which aren't that bad, the special challenges are extremely easy. You have to kill 10 manglers for 1 camo, and then the other camo is 300 kills with brain rot on the weapon. You don't even have to get brain rot kills. It just has to be brain rot equipped on the weapon, which at that point, obviously, you can literally just pack a punch the weapon, and in like 5 rounds max, I think, blow every zombie out of the water, and then boom, you're on gold. And then gold is 10 rapid kills 15 times. Again, you just hoard up a bunch of zombies, shoot right in the middle, boom, all dead, done. That challenge is done within 2 rounds. Absolutely no issue there. We begin to find an issue when we walk into Nebula. Opal, super easy. You can fly through that, all the special kills. Afterlife, extremely easy. You blow all the zombies up. Since they're literally not going to be able to even touch you at that point, since you're going to have PhD. You're going to have an explosive weapon where they can't even hit you. Afterlife is done 20 or more consecutive kills 10 times without taking any damage. Literally the easiest thing you could possibly do with this weapon. And then Nebula. And the only reason why I'm saying Nebula is difficult to get with it is because it's an explosive weapon. And if you used rocket launchers against elites, the elites barely take any explosive damage. They're immune to this. It is like smacking them with a napkin behind the head. You are not going to do any damage. You're literally, you might at the slim chance give them a little baby paper cut at that. So obviously you have to then buy another weapon off the wall to deal all the damage and then hence kill them with the rocket launcher that isn't a rocket launcher. Anything where you have to buy another gun to then kill the elite with the original gun you need Nebula with is annoying and therefore just bad. So boom, that's why that's why this is number 5. It's literally trash. There is absolutely nothing good about grinding this weapon. It creates a tedious process for you, whereas it should just be fun. Like I said before, the process should be enjoyable since it's zombies, and zombies isn't hard in this game by any means. And the camo grind is the easiest out of the 3. Therefore, there should not be guns that are annoying to do. But I promise you it gets worse because this is only number 5. Somehow it gets worse. And oh my god, I don't want to talk about some other guns. I'm going to get so mad in this video. I'm literally not even playing right now. I'm just talking about these guns. But knowing that one of these guns is next is going to send me over the edge. I promise you it gets worse. The LR762 is a gift from above compared to the rest of the weapons on this list. And so while I say that, we're going to number 4 now, and number 4 is the lovely HE1. And I know a lot of you are probably sitting there saying, well, why is the HE1 even on this list? Because you don't need headshots to get it done. And to be quite honest with you, I took everything from my experience and threw it on this top 5 list for worst weapons. These are the weapons that I found to be most annoying to use and just bad in general. This has nothing to do with like the community, you guys. I want to know what your worst weapons are. Obviously, everyone has a different weapon. It's no surprise. Everyone has a different bad weapon that they hated doing. Like some people have the Strider. The Strider is pretty bad, but once I figured out how to use the gun, I actually enjoyed using it. A lot of people say the SWAT is bad just because it's a slow weapon to use, but I know there's a majority of you guys that really enjoy the SWAT, since the SWAT absolutely mows down zombies from far away. It shreds the head. It puts head in head. Like it is a good gun at that. Very bad if you like playing in front of the zombies. Like if you're an SMG user in zombies, the gun's not going to be for you at all. So you probably hated doing marksman rifles. There's people that just hate certain weapons. Out of this, these were the worst weapons that I encountered. All 5 weapons are the worst that I had to use in each category. I tried to take from each category. Obviously, melee weapons are just good. If you talk shit about melee weapons, you literally just get punched by everybody in the face. Like literally, I just get internet slapped when I say melee weapons suck. No, they're all good. Every single melee weapon is good. The only one that everyone says sucks is the cleaver somehow, and the cleaver's not even that bad. The cleaver's actually really good. It's just I don't think anyone has a big enough brain to go, if I kite the zombies, maybe it'll actually be good. I'm just saying, like, if you actually play the game more than just, you know, spamming triggers and just, you know, doing this unlimited XP glitch to get all your weapons Nebula and instant max prestige, like, you suck. You suck if you do that. I'm sorry, I love you, but you suck. Anyways, back to the HE1. The reason why the HE1 is on the list, and it's not because obviously you don't need headshots with rocket launchers, and it's not the special kills because they're really not that hard. It's simply the fact that the ammo capacity is so bad, and the points you get back from shooting your weapon, you do not get your bang for your buck with this gun. You will go through the entire arsenal of weaponry that you have with this thing, and you will still not have enough to buy back the ammo after it's pack-a-punched. My experience with this weapon was before the buff, back when the game came out, so I'm speaking off of that experience simply because it was god-awful. You start off the game with 1 out of 6 rockets. When you go to pack-a-punch the gun back on the patch that I did this with, you lost 1 or 2 bullets. I think it was 2, and you went down to 1 out of 4. So you had 5 in general. Blew my mind why that was even a thing. I couldn't tell you. They did that. They were so stupid for that thing. So most of the time, what I would do is I wouldn't even pack-a-punch the gun until I couldn't one-shot a whole horde, which you can get by one-shotting a whole horde of zombies with the HE1 at high rounds. I think it was like round 15 where I stopped one-shotting zombies. Obviously, they probably changed that now, but back then it was super easy to just not pack-a-punch the gun. So, you know, when you have to pack-a-punch it, you bit the bullet. But I mean, you got the extra damage, so it was kind of worth it, but the points never came. You still had that point problem. So it could be round, say, 25, and you can one-shot the whole round. You will not have enough money to then buy ammo for a Pack-a-Punch 3 HE1. Like, you almost never made points to progress with the weapon. It was atrocious. Now, obviously, they fixed it by adding, you have 12 bullets in total, 11 in reserve, or rockets, excuse me. So it did get a lot better, but it was not good back then. And that's the experience I'm speaking on. The weapon barely did any damage to special zombies. It barely wanted to chew through anything. At a specific point in the game, it couldn't kill anything. It was just all around a terrible experience. I remember it took me 2 or 3 days to get this gun done because I did not want to deal with it. The mobility with it is trash, which is why right now in the gameplay, you see me just running around with my fists out. I physically cannot run that slow. It is so annoying. It was probably one of the more frustrating experiences, but it definitely wasn't the worst. This thing's only saving grace was the damage output. If it did not do as much damage as it does, never again, not in a million years. I still don't want to finish it because I just don't want to waste my time loading in with the gun, pack-a-punching the gun, and killing 5. I only have to kill 5 more elites. I only have to kill 5 more elites, but I strictly just refuse to do it because I cannot stand walking around with this gun on my character at any point. It is just so annoying. And I mean, that's like all my issues with the HE1. I mean, other than that, fighting the elites is just no damage. It's an explosive weapon just like the LR762. So you're not going to do any damage. You're going to need another gun. It's not a good case scenario for your points. You're not going to be able to optimize it quick enough and easy enough, in my opinion, to get it done. Because you need points. One, this is a big issue. You need points to pack-a-punch it to get it stronger so that you can actually progress through the game and not die a bunch of times. 2, you cannot buy another weapon and get enough points using the HE1 to then pack-a-punch the other gun to do enough damage to kill elites, to then, or not to kill elites, but to get the elites low to then take the HE1 and kill the elite. Your points will be gone. Like it would be like a black hole for essence. It is disgusting. The worst thing you could do is probably use this gun, which is why I recommend skipping it if you want to skip it. But if you want the true 100%, go right ahead. Like, I have to revisit this so that I can get a true 100%, but I despise this weapon for that. And I'm so grateful that I finished the next 2 weapons on this list, because if I didn't finish them when I finished them, I would never be doing them ever again. And so the next weapon, number 3, is going to be the Marine SP. This thing is absolutely horrible. I cannot stand a gun. This is a lot of, all the weapons on this video are very like interesting because they're all good at something and bad at everything else. Like the Marine SP is good at blowing zombies up. And what I mean by zombies is I mean zombie. It is good at blowing zombie up. Literally a zombie. It doesn't matter what round you're on. You will only be killing 2 to 3 if you're lucky. Zombies maximum in a horde. You can have Pack-a-Punch 3, legendary weapon. Game doesn't care. You're only getting 2. You're only getting 2. You're literally, it is that bad later on in the game. It could take you, instead of 2 minutes to beat a round, you're beating the round in 5 to 6 minutes if you use this gun. It is so bad, and the headshots are extremely inconsistent. Not as inconsistent as, say, the Maelstrom, but very inconsistent. And later on, when you can't turn around and aim in at zombies, it's not a good look to use this thing. It literally turns you into a couch potato while you need to run away from zombies. You are like the obese chicken that can't walk to eat food anymore because you've literally eaten so much you're just stuck. That's literally what it's like using this gun. You can't do later on in the game. And even early on, say like round 5, 6, or I think it's 6 or 7, you don't one-shot zombies anymore. You have a shotgun, a literal shotgun, blowing their faces off. Don't ask me why. I don't know. They chose to make shotguns so bad in this zombies game. You cannot one-shot a zombie at a specific point in this game. Even if you get it rare, like a blue, even if you get it a blue, You physically cannot blow a head off. It's so bad. The gun is just so bad. And don't even get me started with the reload time. The reload time before pack punch is god awful. And honestly, if you want a way to breeze through this gun, you're really not going to be able to breeze through it. It's not a gun that is impossible to get done, but it is a gun that just can't work around. It doesn't work well at all. And on vermin rounds, headshots are very inconsistent, and I really don't recommend using slugs. Slugs make this gun do no damage whatsoever. Any shotgun, if you put slugs on them, they do no damage. The ASG is a better weapon to use than this. Some way, somehow. I know, for grinding, by the way, we're not talking about in game in general. The ASG is a very good shotgun in general. I know that. I'm saying for grinding camos specifically, this is an annoying process. The gun literally cannot keep up with the zombies. I'm getting hit markers constantly. It should not be happening like this. I'm killing 1 to 2 zombies maximum right now, and it's round 7. Like, the gameplay is literally proof that this gun is just trash. The GS45 can handle this horde better than the shotgun. That's a telling sign. And even when you go to pack a punch the GS45, so not the GS45, excuse me, when you pack a punch the Marine SP. The Marine SP is going to minimum kill 1 zombie, maximum kill 2 zombies. You might hurt the 3rd zombie after pack-a-punching it. The gun is just, it is so lost in its own identity that it cannot do damage. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Like, you can see it. It wants to be good. It wants to be like the Remington from Black Ops 2, but it never will be the Remington from Black Ops 2. That gun is a million times better. It won't even be close to the ASG. I know a lot of people enjoy using it. Like, it's a fun gun to load in with the Dragon's Breath and just shoot zombies, but it is god awful. And when you need headshots and you want them done relatively fast, this is not the gun to be using. So again, in my opinion, I would skip it. I pack-a-punch this and it's still not doing that great. It hit markered a armored zombie and I need 2 shots to kill an armored zombie. Yes, it is gray, but you can also put the argument up there that I'm on round 9. A gray pack-a-punched 1 weapon would be blowing their heads off if it was anything else. So that is not an excuse for this thing to have such little damage. Now, I know they probably did that on purpose, since in Cold War, the shotguns were extremely OP and people basically only used shotguns and I think the M16. So I know they don't want that to happen again and they'd like everyone to use other weapons, but they could at least do something with, say, the fire rate or the damage range or just damage in general. Like, let shotguns rip through armor more, say, than other weapons. Like, make the armored zombies literally just a pinata for us to kill them. Like, don't you know, make it just so bad in general barely anyone uses it, because I feel like that's something that they're doing and it's really not a good, it's not fun, because the shotguns are fun sometimes. Just watching zombies blow up is fun. Like, even right here, I'm killing 1 zombie max, maybe 2 zombies, but I'm shooting so fast you can't keep up. It's not great. It really isn't. It could be a lot better. So that's in the number 3 spot. And it gets worse. I mean, this is basically your middle of the road camo grinding gun. That's why I put it at number 3. I think the other 2 fit that spot perfectly. And for number 2, we have the most wonderful weapon in the game, the only gun in the game that cannot one-shot a zombie on round 1, the Maelstrom. This gun is so bad. I would rather wipe my ass with razor blades than use this thing. It is terrible. This gun took the longest out of any gun. It took me a full 12 hours to get this thing Nebula, whereas everything else took me, like, you know, 0 to Nebula, probably 2 hours maximum. This was so bad. I literally almost gave up. I kid you not. It took me a very long time. I recorded half of the video, then fell asleep, woke up, recorded the rest of the video of me getting this Nebula because I could not take it anymore. It was such a bad gun, and it still is. It did not get any better. And the reason is because, 1, the headshots didn't track at the time, so the headshots track now. They fixed that issue. The other issue it has is the inconsistencies with headshots. I put on the choke, the whatever it's called, I don't know, choke me. but I put the choke on the gun that makes the pellet spread less, and I'm still getting inconsistent headshots with it constantly. It is insane. And the fact that my gun does 9 to 12 damage per hit on round 3 is disgusting. It is like a child that is neglected by their father their entire lives, and as soon as that kid makes money or makes it in a professional career of any kind, the dad goes, yo, what's up, son? I've been here the whole time. How you doing? That is what the Maelstrom is. It is a slap in the face. It is a joke of a DLC weapon. It just pisses me off thinking about it because I have to use this in Warzone in a couple of days, and I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. This gun sucks ass. It is so bad. Please, I want you all to come in the comment section and promise me you will never use it again. Do not use this gun unless you're a freak. If you like feet picks, you like the Maelstrom. It's not that difficult. It really isn't that difficult. This gun was so bad. I have nothing good to say about it. I think the only good thing that came from this was the fact that we got extra content during a content drought for the game. And it didn't fix anything because the game still sucks. But like, that's my point with the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom is just not it. And that is why it's number 2. Because for me, it's bad. But for others, it's not that bad. And there's a worse gun, and it's only worse because the process to get it Nebula is very, very tedious, and that's really why. Even after you pack-a-punch the Maelstrom, it does get a very nice damage buff, pack-a-punched, and fire rate. The reload speed gets buffed, it reloads extremely quickly, and the damage is up. So you have 3 great things that come from the pack-a-punch. The only issue that stems from that is that even now, it struggles with headshots. So the faster the fire rate, the harder it is to get more headshots. The easier they are to kill, the harder it is to get more consistent headshots. So you're basically just, over time in the game, you're going to go from, say, 100 kills and 50 headshots, 300 kills and 100 headshots. And that's not a skill issue, and I'm just going to say that right now. The gun is just that bad at keeping up with itself. And like, as soon as you hip fire with it, you're not getting a headshot. And if you aim in and use, say, headshot with it, you're still not going to get a headshot because you need to aim like an inch above the head to get headshots even while aiming in. So the gun all around is a fiery mess. It's like when you try to bake something and it just comes out wrong. That's what they tried to do. They tried to cook with this thing. They said, yo, no one's ever put this in their game except for maybe Battlefield a couple of years ago, like when everyone was a kid. Let's try it again. You delivered the worst gun, I think, in Call of Duty history, and I'm proud to say that I never have to use it again, and I can't wait for the next game because I don't want to see this gun in it. I know it's going to be in it because every year they throw in the last couple of years. Look at this game, they threw in MW2 for the Warzone, and it's like literally so stupid because no one's going to use those guns. It's brain dead. But obviously it invites more revenue for the company because, oh my god, if we put MW2 bundles back into the store, everyone's going to buy them because they can use the gun in Warzone, and we're going to get a couple of those suckers that really want to pay for it. So like, that's why they do it, obviously. And then that's why they also let you use the operators. But the operators actually is pretty cool, in my opinion. Like, you know, for the cool ones that you bought, say, during the game or unlocked during the game, it's nice to be able to use them again. Not that I need to do that or want to do that. It's just a cool feature for everyone that spent money on the game. I don't know why I'm rambling on about things that aren't the weapons, but I hope you guys like it. This is totally a different video than a top 5 list. I'm straight up gonna say that. It's not a professional top 5 list by any means, and I'm proud of that because it's fucking different, and I hope you guys like different because YouTube doesn't like different, and that's why I do what I'm doing, because I know I'm gonna make it weird and different, and it's gonna have a classic YouTube thumbnail and title. I don't care. Get baited. Yeah, I mean, for the people that did enjoy the video or are enjoying the video, thank you so much for staying this long, because we're like 26 minutes in or something like that. So like, thank you, because this is not a top 5 list, and I know this probably isn't something that most of you guys even want to watch to begin with. So thank you guys so much. And with that said, we're going to be moving on to the last gun, because F the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom can literally get deleted out of the game, and I really hope a COD dev sees this one day and goes, yeah, we messed up big time, and Activision can literally just gargle my balls. But yes, we are on gun number 1, the final weapon, the worst gun to go for Nebula on, and this is just getting 0 to 100 or 0 to 2,000 headshots, and then the specials as well. The specials on this gun are probably the most annoying thing to do, because you need to do it in a specific way, and that way is just really bad because you can't even do it in a game without having to exfil and then come back into the game. And that gun is our glorious GS45, probably the most annoying gun in the game to get Nebula on. And I'm sure you all knew this was coming, and I'm sure there's probably some of you who don't think it's that annoying because you can sit there and not 3 hours doing it because it works well enough early on. The reason why this gun is number one is because you can't get past round 15, 16, 17, or 18 without having to exfil, because the gun just loses its ability to kill zombies quick enough. If you decide that you want to stay until 20 with an unpack-a-punched GS45, you're literally asking for death. The thing doesn't do damage at that point unpack-a-punched, and you don't generate enough salvage to get it even. You don't generate enough salvage in general to get it legendary by the time it stops doing damage. And if you want to optimize the grind quick enough, which I know all of you do because 90% of the people that have Nebula did glitches to get Nebula, and 90% out of hundreds of thousands of people leaves the 10% at hundreds of thousands of people. So I'm not calling all of you out on that. I just want you to understand the statistic, because I'm not saying that 90% of you did it. I'm saying that 90% of the people that play the game did it, and a good 10% probably did this whole thing legit. But directed mode isn't bad. You can use directed mode. I still consider that legit. The thing I don't consider legit is doing the infinite damage glitch or the infinite XP glitch or whatever they call it. That's what I'm saying isn't legit. You're, breaking the game to then get infinite headshots, infinite ammo, things like that towards your challenges. Now, is it a big deal to me? No, I don't care. I'm just saying, for the sake of the argument, your opinion is invalid because you didn't do it the right way. So don't come into this video and sit there in the comments with your little baby rage bait and go, well, actually, this gun wasn't that bad when you use the 4x damage in the game. And I know a lot of people that enjoy playing the game through its life cycle don't want to do dumb stuff like that. This video is for them. They want to find out what the optimal way of grinding Nebula is and what guns to stay away from. Not, dude, just do the 4x damage XP glitch / boss act. Like, no, dude, tickle my scrotum, get away from me. It is okay at the end of the day that you did that. I commend you. I'm proud of you for getting Nebula. Congratulations. You wasted your time. I hope the camo on the gun is happy for you, because, something has to be, because I know your dad isn't. So yes, the GS45 has a big problem, and it's its damage and its inability to be pack-a-punched, since it becomes a rocket launcher pack-a-punched. You then lose the ability to get multiple headshots per round. It just becomes a hot mess to use. Now, it's still doable because you can still get headshots with it after it's pack-a-punched, but you have to understand it does area of effect damage, and therefore if you have a horde of zombies and you shoot one zombie in the head and it kills the rest of them, you only get one headshot, which means 9 times out of 10 you're probably getting 5 to 10 headshots per round. If you don't pack-a-punch it, you clearly get way more damage out of it, and it just makes more sense to do it. So the optimal way to use this gun is to exfil at 15 or 16 whenever the exfils show up, and then come back, get another 200, 300 headshots, do it again, do it like 10 times or whatever it is. I don't feel like doing the math, but you do it a couple of times and you get your 2,000 headshots. That's annoying. The biggest mood killer for me in a game is constantly having to leave and load back in. That makes me not want to do something. So I actually took this gun took pretty long too, but the Maelstrom took the longest. I didn't enjoy doing that with this gun. And there was also another issue that I ran into because the challenges are just not clear. One of the special challenges that you need to do with this gun is get 300 hipfire kills. Now, it's not regular hipfire kills. They're hipfire kills if the gun unpack-a-punched. Now, I don't know if that was a bug at the beginning of the game's life cycle, or if that was intended, or even if they fixed it now. I don't know. My biggest thing was having to get these 300 kills without hipfires. I spent a good maybe 2 hours or an hour and a half in the game just killing zombies with my pack-a-punched GS45, thinking that it would work, and it never popped up, and I was confused. I even save and quit the game because I was like, I have to be close. I have to be within like 10 headshot or 10 hipfire kills. Like I seriously had to be within 10 hipfire kills in my mind, and I leave and I saw 0. I saw a fat donut next to 300, and I was like, there is absolutely no chance in hell that that just happened. And it happened. The game said, no, dude, you're out of luck. We didn't track a single one So I went back in game, no pack-a-punch, used the hidden power so I can get that thing legendary, and I just sat there blowing away until I got 300, and then I pack-a-punched my gun, got gold, got opal, finished off my pistols, and moved on. That is hands down the most annoying experience. And personally, the Maelstrom and the GS45 are tied for me, but I put the GS45 first because more people had a rough time with it. And from my experience, I just remember being so frustrated with that I genuinely wanted to put a hole through my monitor. Whereas the Maelstrom made me want to put a hole in the wall, and the wall is not as expensive as a monitor. That's a pretty good sign of which one was worse, in my opinion. So when you're looking into doing Nebula, if you haven't done it yet, or if you're doing it and haven't gotten to the shotguns, the pistols, or the snipers, stay away from the guns that I recommended. The LR762 really isn't that bad, which is why it's number 5. I should add in an honorable mention, which would be the Frostline. And in my humblest opinions, the Frostline and the LR are probably neck and neck. The only reason why the Frostline wasn't in the video is because the Frostline is good at killing zombies after round 25 because you can pack-a-punch it. It's a good weapon. The fire rate's increased, the damage is increased, it flies through zombies' heads. It's not bad. It's just not viable. You don't need to use it, but I recommend using that over the LR since the LR can't be pack-a-punched. So that's my top 5 list. If you guys want another top 5 list of, like, say, the best weapons to use for Nebula, or even like the best perks in the game, because I have a pretty good opinion on what the best perks are in the game. I'm not gonna lie while I lay in my chair and say that. I guarantee you that my top 5 perks are so much different than everyone else's because Jug is not on that. And I can guarantee you everyone's top 5, if they have one, Jug is like number 2 or 3 without a doubt, because people just don't understand how to play the game. It is such a casual watched experience that everyone just says Jug is the best. No, dude, Jug shouldn't even be in your top 5. PhD is king. That's all I'm gonna say. So if you do want a video like that, or I just absolutely destroy people on their favorite perks, I could even make a video on what your favorite perk says about you, whatever you guys want. I actually enjoy making these videos now. I didn't think I would enjoy making videos where you just sit down and talk over gameplay and like talk about certain things, but I really do. So if you guys did enjoy and you made it to the end, I can't believe I keep asking this. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. I'm not saying to like the video, but if you did enjoy the video, please remember to like it because it pushes the video into the algorithm and maybe more people will come by and say what's up, which then in turn helps me make more videos, because one day if I keep getting 2,000 views and only 2,000 views, I won't be able to make YouTube videos for you guys. And I know all my regulars make it to the ends of the videos. So please guys, it helps. And yeah, that's my top 5 worst weapons in Call of Duty Zombies for Nebula. If you want my worst weapons in general, I mean, it's pretty similar except for the GS45. It's actually a lot different. If you want my top 5 worst weapons in general, I'll go ahead and make that video for you guys too. It depends on how well this video performs. So thank you guys so much. Goodbye. Time to go grind Warzone and put a bullet. I can't say that. Time to go grind Warzone and maybe break a wall or something. So thank you guys and see you later.